Welcome to Business Plan Development. In this lecture, I'll focus on how entrepreneurs decide which business opportunities deserve attention, investment, and action. We'll explore the frameworks, mindsets, and strategic tools that help turn promising possibilities into well-informed choices. The goal is not simply to generate ideas, but to evaluate them with discipline, prioritize the strongest options, and pursue them with confidence. The central question is how to approach an opportunity strategically before committing valuable time and resources. Let's begin by building that decision-making foundation. A business opportunity is more than a promising idea. It's a market gap that can be addressed in a way customers value and the business can support profitably. To evaluate an opportunity, I look at three essential qualities. Desirability asks whether customers genuinely want or need the solution. Feasibility considers whether we can realistically build or deliver it. And viability examines whether a sustainable business model can support the opportunity over time. When all three align, an idea has a foundation to become a real business opportunity. Opportunities rarely appear out of nowhere. They usually emerge when we pay close attention to three sources. First, market observation helps us notice changing trends, shifting consumer behavior, and frustrations that remain unresolved. Second, technological change opens new possibilities, especially when existing technology is applied in an unfamiliar context. Third, industry expertise reveals inefficiencies that outsiders may never see. The strongest opportunities often sit at the intersection of these insights, where a real need meets a practical way to solve it. Not every opportunity deserves the same level of investment, and enthusiasm alone is not enough to make that decision. This framework provides a structured way to evaluate potential opportunities before committing resources or attention. The strongest opportunities perform well across all four dimensions, rather than standing out in only one or two areas. That broader view helps us compare options more consistently, identify trade-offs early, and focus our effort where the overall case is strongest. It turns opportunity selection from a gut reaction into a disciplined evaluation. There are three core ways to pursue an opportunity. Create means building something entirely new, whether that's a product, service, or market. It offers substantial upside, but also carries the highest risk. Improve starts with an existing solution and makes it better, faster, cheaper, or more accessible for an underserved group. Transfer applies a proven business model from one industry or geography to a new context. In practice, most successful startups follow the improve or transfer path because radical innovation is much rarer than it may appear. When I assess market attractiveness, I start by sizing the opportunity at three distinct levels. TAM captures the full global demand, while SAM narrows at universe of the customers we can realistically serve with our business model. SOM goes one step further, identifying the portion we can actually win in the near term. That final estimate matters most to investors and partners because it demonstrates strategic clarity and a grounded understanding of what the business can achieve rather than relying on an overly broad market headline. Understanding the competition is not about fear. It's about finding your defensible position. Start with direct competitors, the businesses serving the same customers with a similar solution. Compare their pricing, positioning, and weaknesses. Then look beyond obvious rivals to indirect competitors, including alternatives customers already use, such as spreadsheets or manual processes. Finally, identify your moat, the advantage that is difficult to copy. That might come from network effects, proprietary technology, a trusted brand, switching costs, or a structural cost advantage. Together, these insights clarify where you can compete and where you can win. Entrepreneur Opportunity Fit is about whether the opportunity matches your capabilities, motivation, access, and tolerance for risk. The best opportunity for someone else may be the worst one for you. That's why honest self-assessment matters before you commit time, money, and energy. Ask yourself whether you have relevant skills or experience, and whether you care deeply enough about the problem to stay committed through adversity. Also consider whether you can reach the customers, partners, or networks you need, and whether you can genuinely tolerate the risks this particular path involves. Identifying opportunity is only the beginning. The next step is to turn that opportunity into a clear, testable hypothesis, a specific belief about the customer, the problem, or the value you can create. From there, use experiments to gather evidence and determine whether the hypothesis holds up. This sequence replaces speculation with learning. The lean approach helps prevent us from spending time and capital building elaborate plans around assumptions that have not yet been validated, while preserving the momentum to refine or pursue the opportunity. When evaluating an opportunity, 3 mistakes appear again and again. First, falling in love with the idea can make us ignore evidence that challenges it, so we need to separate our identity from the concept. Second, skipping customer discovery means assuming we know what people want without actually speaking with them. That is the most common cause of startup failure. Third, chasing market size alone is misleading. A huge market only matters if we have a credible path to capturing a defensible share of it. The key takeaway is that a strong opportunity requires alignment among desirability, feasibility, and viability. Choose deliberately between creating, improving, or transferring, then evaluate market appeal, competitive advantage, personal fit, and financial potential. Finally, test your assumptions with lean experiments and use evidence to make an informed decision.